What's good, everybody? It is Thursday, February 23rd, 2023. How about that? This is your daily sports betting brand of record. We call it the Early Edge. We are powered, as always, by the almighty SportsLine, the best value in all sports betting, and it is not close. We have been working behind the scenes tirelessly for you. Today, a big day as the NBA is back from the All-Star break. However, we were discussing it, and for the next couple of days, we're going to do NBA on N5 to kind of see who's going to be playing the starting lineups. We want to be smarter about it for you. Also, starting on Monday, we're going to add a featured element to the show where we discuss the 2 or 3 biggest games of the day so you can have the information, educate, and entertain. Now, last night, not a bad day at the brand. All you got to do is motivate EC, and he goes 3-1. Should have been 4-0. This was nearly a really great day. But that's sports betting in a nutshell. Porto double chance. They gave up a goal with 5 minutes left in the game to lose 1-0. Brutal. But that's what it's all about. But we grind together, don't we? But we have an opportunity for you. You think you're better than us? You think you can beat us? We want you to prove it. We are just weeks away from March Madness, and there it is. It means brackets. Come lock in your spot for the 2023 Early Edge March Madness Bracket Challenge as we all compete against each other for free. Tournament glory, legacy, and prizes too. Simply scan that QR code or go to tinyurl.com/theearlyedge to lock in your spot right now. Also, you know that we listen to you. If you have an idea of something you would like us to do, go ahead and throw it into the chat. We will listen to it. If it's a good idea, you know, we've proven we will implement it right here on the brand. All right, with all that being said, it's a beautiful Thursday, and it's even more glorious when I bring out the stars of the show. We're going 5 wide today. That's right, a lot to get to. And look at these beautiful faces. First and foremost, she has been on fire right here on the Early Edge. Allie, Bama. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Larry, Danny, and Martin. I'm super happy to be here with all of you this morning, and I'm definitely ready to get to some hockey.
We are super happy to have you as well. God, I love hockey on this show. All right, up next, he is live from just south of London, England. He is the guru. There is only one, Martin W. Green. Good afternoon, sir.
Good morning to you, Coach. Yeah, a lot of frustrating results in the soccer world this week. Buckets was very unlucky yesterday with that Porto result. They would have been fine to at least get a draw, but a late red card and they just couldn't hold on. Tough week for any Liverpool fans, tough week for any Porto fans, but hopefully we can start building up some momentum now. That is the thought process. And today there's Europa League, Europa Conference League. So there's a lot of soccer today at 12:45 Eastern and also at 3 p.m. Eastern time that the guru will help us out with. Next, this is his second appearance on the show, but he's about to get very, very busy because that's why the world of MMA is ramping up. Danny Brasco, welcome back to the Early Edge, sir. Good morning.
Good morning, y'all. Great to be back here. And another fight card coming up this Saturday that's maybe not jumping off the page, but plenty of great betting spots. And I'm excited to get into it with you guys. Last week, I've got to point this out. Last week, a lot of people tweeted me and says, Coach, what are you talking about? Blanchfield. And what did she do? Second round submission. How about that? That was nice. Had to feel good, right? It felt great. And, Andrade was actually coming out of the fight afterwards saying she had a little wardrobe malfunction that caused that sub to happen. Her kind of just got distracted briefly, and then Blanchfield cinched it up. I don't know, maybe an excuse, but she gets it done nonetheless. Some controversy following the fight, though. Yeah, nobody at the pay window said, oh, wait a second, we can't catch. Oh, wardrobe. No, that didn't happen. All right, stand by. And finally, he's been here since day freaking one. He is the maestro, Larry Hartstein. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, everyone. Yeah, a couple of things jumped out at me from college hoops last night. One, on the very fortunate side, Donovan Dent with a three-pointer with 2 seconds left to cash my play for New Mexico, although I am sorry that somebody in the chat was on the other side. That was a bad beat when you consider how many free throws Marcus Shaver missed down the stretch. And I'm sure that will happen to me soon. So, but I do feel for you. And the second thing is Brandon Miller goes for 41, single-handedly lifts Alabama to a win over South Carolina at 17.5-point favorites. They almost lost that game outright. But here's something that's not a shock. He was not made available. No players were made available to the media afterwards.
It's one of maybe the best single game performance of the entire year. And it happened on the night when a lot of people didn't think he should be playing. And if you aren't following that story at Alabama, look it up. There's a lot of details that we don't know, which is why he was allowed to play last night. And we'll leave it at that because they know a lot more than we do. But it was an amazing performance. Take the controversy out. He played himself into the number 1 pick last night. That's how good he was. He played like an NBA player last night. He was amazing. Absolutely amazing. All right, let's get into it. Storylines that could affect the betting lines today. And we're coming right back to you, Maestro, because in the Big Ten, in December and maybe even early January, there was a team out of Columbus who was looking pretty good. But you got to play the entire season. Start us off.
Yeah, Chris Holtmann can definitely recruit, top 5 recruiting class, led by Sensabaugh, but can he coach? I mean, he's not gotten this team past the round of 32 in 5 years in Columbus. Now they come down to 3-13 in the Big Ten, 8 straight losses. The last 3 losses by 22 points per game. So has he lost this team? He's starting 4 freshmen now. Zed Key, their big rebounder, he's out for the season. And here's the problem. It's a $20 million buyout. So they can't get rid of him. So they're stuck with him, but he definitely can recruit. He just needs some help coaching the actual game. Tonight is an interesting spot with Penn State coming to town. Penn State starts 4 seniors led by Jalen Pickett. Penn State, though, only 2-7 on the road. And surprisingly, early money has come in on Ohio State, up from -1.5 to -2. I have cash personally fading Ohio State a few times during this losing streak. Tonight, though, it's just a little tricky with Penn State only 2-7 on the road. I may stay off.
Yeah, and Penn State, they're tricky too because they're a really good basketball team despite some of their metrics. So great storyline from the Maestro to get us started. Now, next, I told you we have a busy slate of soccer today. The last 2 days have been very, very light, Martin, right? Because of the Champions League taking center stage. But the games other than Real Madrid weren't that exciting. Hopefully today will be better. Can you enlighten us just a little bit, please?
Yeah, there was just 2 games yesterday and the previous day, whereas we have a full slate of playoff games in the Europa Conference League and the Europa League today. The big one is obviously Manchester United versus Barcelona, 2 of the world's best teams at Old Trafford. And just some team news. Barcelona are going to be missing key midfielders Pedri and Gavi, 2 of their best players when they take on Man United in this game. Pedri's injured. He was injured against Man United, and Gavi is suspended. So that represents a major blow for the Spanish team. That's 2 of their key cogs in the midfield. This contest is delicately poised at 2-2 on aggregate. It's a 2-legged match. Teams played out a very, very entertaining draw at the Nou Camp last week. It'll be interesting to see if Manchester United can capitalise on those injuries and suspensions from Barcelona. They're in superb form right now. They absolutely swept Leicester aside at the weekend. Neutral fans will be hoping for another open and entertaining game with lots of chances at both ends of the pitch. And it does look like an overs game. So break that one down a little bit later.
Well, we can't wait for that. By the way, as you were discussing what's going on today, I see that AB, our 5-tool player, is in the chat. If you have any questions for him, go ahead and put them in there. He'll answer them in real time. College baseball, we're all over it for you on the weekends, Fridays, and also on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. AB has you covered. Also, the MLS. Martin, we're getting close to the season coming back. BTTS, baby, let's go. Let's go.
Philadelphia Union for the crown. This is their year. I can feel it.
I can. We're going to have to put the big old Philadelphia Union gear behind you. Arsenal, Philadelphia Union.
They're done. It's all about the Union now.
All right. Now, every single week, at least most weeks, we're going to have Danny Brasco on Thursdays, fight nights, pay-per-views, but also we want to educate you. Unlike some people in chat who don't understand this segment of the show, this is to give you information to use whenever you're looking at said games or said matches. So, Danny, let me come to you because there's one name that you picked out this morning that people should be keeping their eye on. Who am I talking about?
I'm taking a look at Augusto Sakai in the main card on this Saturday's UFC Fight Night. And I think he's someone – oh, excuse me, Coach. I got that twisted, actually. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm looking at Trevor Peek, and that's the guy that's on my storyline, guy to look out for. Guy that's got a 7-fight knockout streak going and is sort of a bit of a wild man. Tough Southern kid who comes from a troubled past. found religion, found his way into MMA, and is looking to keep that knockout streak alive. Expect fireworks in his main event. I think you're going to be wanting to circle that fight as potential fight of the night.
All right, there you go. We're going to be here every single week. By the way, we're still looking, $100 cold hard cash. Still looking for the official nickname of Danny Brasco here in the Early Edge universe. So keep them coming. A lot of you throw out Knuckles. We're not going to do Knuckles. I told you it's 1995. We're not going to do that. But come up with something really good we can use, and you will win $100, no strings attached. All right. Now, it is time to get to our board for the day, and I want to see a bunch of green check marks. But before we get there, I told you, we got to pay those pesky little bills. Here's a word from one of our incredible partners.
Let's go. You can feel the madness.
And no matter where you look, everybody has eyes on Las Vegas at this time of the year. Start of baseball season, March Madness coming up, but also because they have a hockey team that is starting to play pretty good. And tonight, that's where we're starting. Allie, Ice Queen, please, the floor is yours.
Yep. So my play for the day is going to be the Knights money line. Right now it's about minus 135, but it's kind of been between that minus 140. The main thing is Jacob Markstrom. He's really been a bit of a disappointment lately. The Flames are 2-7 in his last 9 starts, and there are some questions around the Knights goaltending. So I would wait a little bit just to get some more goalie confirmation on this game, because we have Aiden Hill listed as now, but we could see Laurent Brossoit be in net. So I would wait to see how that plays out before making anything official. If you have a cash out option, that's kind of where that's going to come in handy. The Flames have never really won against the Knights, and they've played each other 7 times ever since the Knights have been whatever the second newest NHL team. But so they've never won though against Vegas. So I really do think no matter who we have in net, Vegas is going to have a better edge. But I would just wait to see how that number looks based on when we get goalie determination to see if there's actually value there.
And I encourage you to follow Allie on social media. She does an amazing job throughout the day, kind of updating these type of picks. We're trying to attack this however we can, because right now, as many of you know at home, it's very difficult when you don't know who's going to start, whether it's on the ice or on the basketball court. Allie, thank you very much for getting
I'll post it on the site once I kind of have more of that information, so you'll see it there.
Even better, if you're a SportsLine member, boom, turn on your notifications, follow Allie. Ding! I love hearing that ding. I love hearing that ding. All right, Allie, thank you very much. All right, now, up next, it's a fight night, but it doesn't mean we can't find if Alex is watching, opportunities. Sorry, it's football. All right, Danny Brasco, this is where we make our money. This is where you look into your crystal ball on what could happen on Saturday night. So you, sir, are up next.
Well, thanks for the floor, Coach. Here we go. By the way, I got to say, I'm loving the nicknames in the chat. They are going off. We got some Donnie Brasco references, Lefty. Oh. I mean, these guys know their stuff. I'm a big fan of a lot of these, but let me get into some picks and earn myself a nickname first. So I mentioned to start the storylines up, Trevor Peak, this guy with the knockout streak going. Look, I was crushing props last week, and I didn't give any out in the show, so let me do that. I think he's going to keep that streak going and get himself another knockout right now, which is sitting at minus 135. The fighter, the matchup he's got is against a guy named Eric Gonzalez, who is a sharp striker himself, but his striking defense leaves a lot to be desired. Trevor Peak has a granite chin. This guy just doesn't go away. In his Contender Series fight, he got destroyed in the first round just to return it all in the second with a smile and take it all grinning. So I'd be afraid of this guy. I would not want to get in a backyard brawl with him, and that's what we're probably going to see. So give me Peak by knockout to start things off on the card. Next up, I'm looking at a fighter that I just feel like his stock is lowering, and we can almost buy low on Augusto Sakai at minus 135. He's lost 4 fights in a row, but on that streak, he's faced nothing but killers. Guys like Alistair Overeem, Tai Tuivasa, and his last one, Sergey Spivak. He's got to get back on track here, facing a huge drop-off in competition in Dontel Mays. Mays is a skilled heavyweight, but Sakai is much more skilled. In terms of pure skill level, I put Sakai as a minus 200, 250 favorite. So I feel like we're getting a great price here. And if he loses this one, he's got to rethink his career. So this is a make or break fight. I like taking a guy with his back against the wall. Give me Augusto Sakai to figure it out and get back in the win column here. And then I got you an underdog here. Maybe not a fight that's jumping off to anybody, but I think there's a style mismatch that we can exploit and get Jasmine Jasdavicius here at +110. She's fighting a fighter making her debut in Gabriela Fernandez. Power puncher. Fernandez coming out of Brazil looks pretty dangerous. The problem with her is her striking, her takedown defense. And Jasdavicius is a pretty good wrestler. In her last fight, she went 0 for 6 on takedown attempts against a good opponent. I kind of equate it to like a good 3-point shooter, just like facing a good perimeter defense and just couldn't find the range that night. I think Jasdavicius will have an opponent that she can easily take down in this one and get back to her ways, implement her style, and pick up a win as a +110 dog. Again, in this spot, I think we're getting a good price because people are down on her from her last fight. So those are some 3 money line picks. And of course, the 2-leg parlay, one of my favorite betting spots in the UFC. We'll go with 2 favorites that I like, pairing together. This one cashed last show, so let's see if I can run it back. I like Mike Mallet, really interesting Canadian guy, cornerman, teacher, and coach for a lot of fighters. We've been wanting to see himself fight more in the ring. He's got all the talents to make a run himself. So I like parlaying him with Andre Muniz, submission artist that has the equivalent of one-shot knockout power with his jiu-jitsu. If he snatches your arm, snatches your neck, the fight is over. And he's fighting a guy that I think might grapple with him in Brendan Allen. That would be a massive mistake. So you put those 2 guys together, you get a +112 2-leg parlay. And there's some UFC picks for you.
Do you guys want to do that work? I don't think you do. Glenn says that y'all hit with Danny fits in on the show so good. Glenn, we agree. We agree. By the way, quick question for you, Danny, from the chat. Nikolai against Pickett. Do you have a lean in that particular fight?
Oh, I saw that. Bo Nickel versus Jamie Pickett. Bo Nickel, round 1 finish. Jamie Pickett stands no chance.
Boom. Just like that. Another added pick. Hashtag it pays to watch live. Thank you, Danny. All right. Now, this man does not like to be kept waiting. He is nice until you keep him waiting. So, Guru, my apologies. My apologies. But, give me something that starts with a J that's silent that I can sink my teeth into today. What do we have?
Okay, thank you very much, Coach. Well, yeah, we're starting with that game that I mentioned earlier, Manchester United versus Barcelona. Very entertaining first leg showdown last week. Both teams to score and over 2.5 goals was easy money. So hoping to run that one back. It was 0-0 at half time in that game, but it really exploded into life after the break. Marcus Alonso and Rafinha, former Premier League players, scored for Barcelona. But Marcus Rashford, who's just been on fire lately, scored one and set up the other to earn the Red Devils a share of the spoils. Barcelona also hit the post in the dying stages of that game. Both goalkeepers were forced to make smart saves. There were chances missed. It could have been 4-4. It was just a really open and wild, entertaining game. There's going to be a wealth of attacking talent on the pitch once again when the teams renew hostilities at Old Trafford today. Rashford, Sancho, Bruno Fernandes going up against the likes of Robert Lewandowski, Rafinha and Ansu Fati in that short-handed Barcelona team. So I'm hoping for another high-scoring match. You can get, I believe you can get +105 if you go for both teams to score and over 2.5 goals, or just -118 on a straight over 2.5 goal bet, just in case one of the teams happens to win 3-0 or 3 or 4-0 even. Yeah, just hoping for another high-scoring game. But I am leaning towards Manchester United in this one, seeing as they have home advantage and they were very competitive in Barcelona last week. Moving along to another game for a team that are a bit of a Jekyll and Hyde, Juventus. They could only draw 1-1 with Nantes last week, which was an embarrassing result when you consider that Nantes are 13th in the Ligue 1 table. They're far closer to the relegation zone than they are to the league leaders, PSG. However, Juventus really did dominate that game. They were simply left to rue their profligacy in front of goal. If the Bianconeri can put on their shooting boots for this second leg, they really should be able to pick up an important win in France. They keep getting the job done in Serie A in their domestic league games. It's just a matter of converting that form to the Europa League. They really need to win this to salvage something from their season and make some money because they're a bit cash-strapped right now. There really is a vast golfing quality between these teams, at least on paper, when you actually look at the talent within both squads. So I do think the odds on a Juventus win now look attractive. So put it all on Juventus. Hopefully they can get the job done this time.
I will ask the question again. Do you want to do that work? Incredible analysis from the guru. By the way, I told you AB's in the chat. Well, one of our new baseball cappers in the chat, Amax. I've been talking about him for months. He'll be starting doing baseball very soon. So we had a question for you. If you have a question for him, put it in the chat. He'll answer it in real time. Also, he knows horse racing as well. Gene Menez, somebody's coming for you, and Michelle as well. But would you guys like to see us do a WBC World Baseball Classic only episode of The Early Edge? Hashtag yes is all I need in the chat. If you'd like us to do a WBC World Baseball Classic special episode, we want to know. Hashtag yes if you would watch that. Now, we've started a lot of new shows during the time that me and this man have been working together. We continue to steamroll into our third Maestro March Madness in Simpatico. But before we get there, we got to cash some tickets. What do you got for us today?
Okay, starting off in the Big Ten, I am going to fade Rutgers, even though they're playing at home where they usually win. Since they lost Mawat Mag, this is a key forward. They lost him in that game at the Garden against Michigan State. Since then, 0-3-1 against the number. He's just key to everything they do. And now Caleb McConnell, the Defensive Player of the Year, likely out as well due to back spasms. So you're down 2 starters. You're facing a desperate Michigan team that has to win for their NCAA tournament hopes. And I know Jet Howard is questionable with the ankle injury, the coach's son, one of their best shooters. But I still think the losses on Rutgers side are more significant. They probably eke it out, but I'm thinking 60-57, something like that, Michigan +6. And then on the other side, Western Kentucky has won 3 straight home games. They get to face Louisiana Tech, and Louisiana Tech's best player, Kobe Williams, their leading scorer, had 20 points in an earlier game when they beat Western Kentucky in overtime. He played 41 minutes. He left the team for personal reasons is what the school is saying. There was no explanation. He's been out 2 games. Louisiana Tech has looked terrible in both. They didn't cover either. They lost both. I'm going to lay the points with the Hilltoppers.
Love both of those picks so much. Charles says, with all due respect, Coach, dumb question. Everybody wants to see a WBC episode. I just thought I would ask. 2 amazing picks, and everybody today bringing it solid, and I love it. Do not forget, NBA picks coming up later today. Early Edge and 5. We're trying to change how we do things just a little bit for you. With all that being said, there's only one thing left to do after we grab our paper and grab our pencil. See, I told you we're changing it up all the way. All right, Allie, can she continue her hot streak? That's the question. Golden Knights, money line -140. The Guru, Manchester United. Boy, I tell you what, since getting rid of Cristiano Ronaldo, they've been playing unbelievable soccer. Let's put them with Barcelona over 2.5 and just enjoy the goals. Then Juventus, money line -118. Again, this is Europa League and Europa Conference League playing today. Don't go look at Serie A or any of those. Okay. Then the Maestro, Western Kentucky, -4.5. Then Michigan, +6 out of the Big Ten. Then our man, Danny Brasco. Still looking for that nickname, $100, cold hard cash. Augusta Sakai, -135. Then JJ, same name as my son, but this is a female. Jasmine, +110. Trevor Peak by KO, -135. Also, Bo Nickley said first round knockout, a little added lean. And then a parlay, +112. This is a great way, if you're brand new to MMA betting, of bringing some of these monster numbers down, because you're going to see -350s, -400s. You can't play those. Anything above -200, we will not give it out as a straight play on this particular show. All right? Now, as I was saying, there's only one thing left to do. And I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. For my entire crew, love them all. Alabama, the Guru, Danny, what's his nickname going to be? Brasco. And, of course, the Maestro, Larry Hartstein, and the Snake, AB, always behind the scenes. We're a crew for a reason. We bring it strong. We grind for you so we can win with you. We try to do it every single day to the best of our abilities right here at the Early Edge. Good luck.